Do you know that leaders spend 30% of their time on admin? Scheduling events, onboarding new joiners, finding fun icebreakers, and even organizing team socials or team kudos. It's all just a bunch of busy work. I'm Esther, and I've done my fair share of busy work, having led countless teams at McKinsey and early stage startups. Like many others, I tried all the new tools. Talent integrations and Slack plugins with weird and confusing names like Hey Taco or Donut. The results? A never-ending stream of notifications, fragmented datasets, and one-size-fits-all apps that we continue to pay for, even though my team stopped using them months ago. I quickly learned I wasn't alone. Distributed work and the SaaS gold rush is fragmenting our workflows and data. So we built Verve, the automation platform designed for teams, ensuring that they can first save time by automating their busy work, from organizing weekly one-on-ones or quarterly team socials, establishing healthy team habits in seconds. With Verve, you can set up custom automations, like an onboarding flow, inviting new joiners to relevant documents, events, and tools in seconds. Save money by eliminating single-use tools like Clockwise or Kudos. And elevate teams with tailored recommendations as they grow, because what works for your team of 3 today may not work for your team of 6 tomorrow. Unlike alternatives, Verve is collaborative first, meaning your team can view, share, and customize team automations to suit their preferences. And Verve also consolidates your team data, providing a more holistic view of team performance by integrating with your core tools like Google and Slack, with more to come. We're targeting the 320 million distributed leaders hungry for a tool that ignites their teams and gives them more hours in the day. We've already committed 3 teams to be our pilot partners after working with 45 teams last year. Looking forward, we plan to adopt a product-led growth strategy targeting leaders at distributed scale-ups directly by offering an entry-level freemium tier with a monthly subscription fee based on usage. Our team includes myself, a Harvard MBA graduate with organizational health expertise, having served clients at McKinsey, and my co-founder Fran, an experienced 6-time founding engineer and proud Argentinian who's led teams across the US, South America, and Europe. Our vision is to be the open stack for teams to develop their people operations from day one to IPO. In essence, think of us as Zapier with the performance mindset of Lattice. We're currently raising our pre-seed round with EIS allocations available after completing the Techstars London Accelerator program last winter. So join us as we redefine the new work era.
Hi, we're Jazz and Joe, the co-founders of Luna, the UK's first teen health and wellbeing app for girls, non-binary and AFAB teens aged 11 to 17. We are a small startup with big ambitions. Teens all over the world experience puberty and we want Luna to be the app of choice for them. So in our app Luna, you can learn through content, so think super short articles and videos created by our in-house set of experts on all things skins, periods, hormones, relationships, the works. You can ask an anonymous question and get an expert-backed response, and you can track your periods and emotions using our very own period tracker. We absolutely love it, and we think there's a massive opportunity, and so do they. Hear it from them if you don't believe us.
It's really helped me personally because there's a period tracker and I can have contact with doctors who can answer my questions. And I really do think that Luna's doing a great thing for young girls like me, especially if you're in a situation where you don't have many female role models.
I think it's important to know about what's going on with your body as you're growing up and to understand that it's normal what you're going through.
It's very knowledge-based. You know that the information you're getting is backed by doctors and it's from professionals rather than obviously online where there's a lot of misinformation around in terms of what you're actually getting online.
So you've heard from our teens as to why they love Luna so much. It's 2023 and the education systems continue to fail our young people about their health and well-being, which is why we have built Luna. We've only been live on the app stores for 5 months, but we've had some amazing traction to date. We have over 17,500 downloads, but we think it's our retention rates that are most impressive. We have a day 1 retention rate of 63% and a day 28 retention rate of 31%, when the average for health and wellbeing apps is 4%.
Alongside Jazz and I, we have an amazing team and we're resilient, ambitious and committed to solving this problem. We have expertise across health tech and consumer, and we're also backed by some brilliant advisors, including Louise Hill, the co-founder of GoHenry, the financial education app for children and teens. Last year, we raised our pre-seed of 600k and are backed by some amazing investors, including Octopus Ventures and some doctors who really believe in our mission. Over the 6 months, we've gained some amazing media as well, including Apple's App of the Day in January, and most recently, we were featured as Apple's International Women's Day feature on the Today tab. We are raising £2.5 million to turbocharge our growth across the UK. We have 400k already committed by our existing angels and are looking for amazing investors who want to back this mission and be part of this amazing team. Thank you for listening. We would love to hear from you.
Hi, I'm Ali. Built is an AI tool that allows developers to search and understand large code bases. Developers can quickly install Built directly into their IDE and immediately start asking questions and get explanations about the code base in plain English. We launched a month ago and we're live with 2,500 developers and have onboarded the cap table management company Pulley. Code bases quickly become too large for developers to memorize, and new developers can take months to onboard. One particular customer had to urgently hire a freelance developer to rebuild their registration flow. By using Built, the freelancer didn't require any help to start work. As founders, we've been writing software from the age of 10 and have built products ranging from virtual reality to algorithmic trading. Between us, we developed all of the tech at YC S20 company Fancy before our acquisition by GoPuff. At $50 a month, this represents a $16 billion annual market size. We're raising $2.5 million with funds such as Soma, UpHonest, Lakestar, Charles River Ventures, already committed, and of great angels like Amjad Masad of Replit, Saranga from Balderton, and Nicolas from Eurazeo on board. Thank you, we're built.
Hi there, my name's Jamie and I'm the founder of Plata. We are a game-changing fintech that's transforming embedded finance within the credit markets. Picture a piece of the $7.2 trillion industry of embedded finance by 2030. That's the market that we're attacking. And it's a very, very different one. We're creating a platform that allows every business around the world to instantly convert any invoice into buy now, pay later, spreading it over 3, 6, 9, or 12 monthly payments, which means we're capturing customers who wouldn't have thought of taking out credit at the point of transaction. Our platform is completely game-changing. Picture this, 2 digital platforms. The first one allows businesses to access £1 million of credit within 24 hours using just a 2-minute sign-up. They can then instantly convert any invoice that they've been given to pay over 12 months or anything in between. Now, going into our white label product, at their fingertips, every B2B business on this planet can now offer buy now, pay later terms on the invoices that they issue to their customers. That means that they can increase revenue, reduce churn, get annual commitments, they can get more businesses over the line, and more importantly, there's no risk on them whatsoever. The opportunity here is huge. Everyone's focusing over there on e-commerce, but no one's looking at the £10 trillion potential industry that B2B payments bring within invoices. So, what's the opportunity for you here? Well, you can invest in a Series A that we could be opening in the next 6 months. Our traction is undeniable. We've gone from 600,000 in ARR in the beginning of February to over £1.4 million as it stands. That means we're growing at more than 30% month on month without fail. Our distribution channels are also huge. On the white label side, we have massive tech businesses, professional services, manufacturers, and all B2B businesses distributing us to thousands of businesses. Just the other day, we onboarded one white label customer who have delivered 5,000 business customers to us. On the other side, we have UK commercial brokers fueling our direct channel, which means that we have subscription recurring revenue unlike any other lender. This is your opportunity to invest in a game-changing fintech that's looking at a completely different market to the checkout e-commerce market. A market that could reach 10 trillion in value after 2030. That means we're going to go after a market that is supplying a huge amount of businesses worldwide. We're going to be opening up our Series A very soon. Now is your time to invest in a lean, soon to be profitable embedded finance business for good. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Hannah Samano, the founder and CEO of Unfabled. The market for women's health is predicted to be a $1 trillion opportunity by 2027. But today the market is extremely fragmented, which leads to a really poor experience for women. There are many single point solutions for each life stage, which can be time consuming and overwhelming to discover as our bodies evolve and as our needs change. Who should I trust? What's right for me? In fact, the majority of women WhatsApp their friends for recommendations and advice because ultimately the women's health market is lacking in personalised, trusted and holistic solutions. Our solution is Unfabled, a consumer health platform transforming women's well-being by providing curated and personalised solutions. We're building an AI-driven platform that personalises recommendations to users based on their unique health and lifestyle data, powered by our own community science and first-party datasets. Our vision is to become the world's most trusted destination for women's health solutions, underpinned by our machine learning software and data platform. Our approach has been validated, and we've experienced explosive growth in spite of a tricky macro climate. In just over 1 year, we've grown to £500,000 annualised run rate, and we're on track to reach 1 million later this year. We have the strongest acquisition costs in the women's health and wellness space, and our blended CAC is currently at £8. Although we're consumer facing, we have a strong B2B strategy and edge, which we've already been able to prove out. We've just signed a B2B consumer insights contract with GlaxoSmithKline's new consumer business, Haleon, and we're in talks with 4 other consumer conglomerates around B2B partnerships. We were approached by Sephora UK to be their first women's health partner in Q4 last year, and we're now using them as an acquisition channel too. We've established a loved and trusted brand, having now reached 14 million people in just over a year through our own organic content. As you can see, we received millions of comments and engagements, giving us unprecedented insights into consumer needs and feeding into strong brand defensibility. We have a diverse and exceptional team. I previously led global D2C technology at Unilever before I launched Africa's biggest women's health company as head of product. We have a stellar team of people building and investing in Unfabled, with data and machine learning backgrounds from Google and Meta, through to operators who've scaled startups from 0 to 300 employees. I've been recognised by Forbes 30 Under 30, and we're backed by Innovate UK for our AI innovation in healthcare. To capitalise on our first mover advantage, we're now raising £1.5 million to invest into our data science, our machine learning, and our growth. We have 2/3 of the round committed, and I'm looking to connect with early stage funds, family offices, and angel investors who want to join our journey now in transforming the future of women's health together. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Harry. I'm one of the co-founders of Visible. We're on a mission to help millions of people measure and manage their invisible illness. 3 years ago, I was a fit and healthy 29-year-old. I was climbing mountains, I was cycling across continents, I was working out most days. But in September 2020, I caught COVID and it's turned my life upside down. I've been dealing with symptoms for over 2 years now. And in that time, I've received little to no support for what has been a life-changing condition. And my story is not new. Millions of other people suffer from post-viral conditions, and the reality is they've been overlooked and underserved for decades. Our healthcare systems just aren't set up to support people with complex chronic health conditions. And this means that millions of people fall through the gaps and are left to manage their condition on their own. At Visible, we're empowering patients to measure and manage their illness. And we're starting with the core reason that these conditions are so debilitating. That activity levels are the number one cause of symptom flare-ups. Just like in diabetes, where you've got to manage your glucose levels, in these conditions, you've got to manage your activity levels, leaving patients to use products designed for workouts and exercise, not rest and pacing. There is an immediate need for an activity tracking platform for illness, not fitness. Our product comes in 2 tiers. Our free app allows users to track their activity and measure their biometrics daily using just their smartphone. And our premium subscription, Visible Plus, which integrates with existing wearables and provides real-time activity guidance. And in the next 18 months, we'll be building out Visible to include digital biomarkers, content, community, and health coaching. And we've had incredible traction. Since we launched Visible in open beta in November last year, we've had over 25,000 users join the platform with 0 paid acquisition, with industry-leading retention and engagement. And in just the last few weeks, we've invited our first 1,000 users to join our early access program for Visible Plus, and we've seen over 30% conversion rate, generating $10,000 in monthly subscription revenue. We're adopting a B2C to B go-to-market strategy. This means that we're building a fantastic consumer experience first, and we'll become the go-to product for payers and employer markets too. Our founding team not only have lived experience of these conditions, but deep product expertise too. My co-founder Luke previously worked with me at a London scale-up in product, and on the medical side, we're backed by the world's leading experts in these conditions. And now we're raising our seed round to continue our mission. So join us and help us make invisible illness visible.
In 5 months, we have gone from $20,000 to over $500,000 in ARR, with customers such as Accenture and one of the big 4 accounting firms. Accenture is even partnering with us, and together we won our first joint customer, a Fortune Global 500 business. My name is Magnus Ljungman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nudge Labs, and let me tell you why these big enterprises have put their trust in us. Enterprise CEOs' top problems all revolve around people. It's about maintaining and retaining a high-performance workforce. But this challenge remains unresolved because current solutions all fall short due to low adoption and unclear ROI. Enter Nudge Labs. Nudge Labs increase high performers by over 60%, whilst reducing employee turnover by more than 50% just within 6 months. We do that by using the advancements in health data from wearables, generative AI, data analytics, and digital coaching to form new performance and resilience habits in the workforce at scale. And employees love our solution. They say it's like having a personal trainer, but for my whole life, evidenced by our 93% 6-month user retention. That high retention is what drives our results. And our results is what drives our customers to love us and to recommend us on social media. They get a substantial ROI just from the reduction in employee turnover, and the increased performance is just an added bonus on top. We charge between $100 and $150 per employee per month, and we have a current gross margin between 40 and 60%. Our first niche is professional services and investment companies, and there are roughly 40 million employees in that space, making that niche a $50 billion addressable market in itself. And this works because me and my co-founder, we have been in this space for a combined 30 years. Max saw these problems firsthand as CEO of $140 million occupational healthcare provider Avonova. And I have developed digital health products for millions of patients across Europe as CEO and founder of Doctrine. Our current investors include Y Combinator, and we're now raising $2 million that will be spent on sales and automation through generative AI. Those $2 million in seed round will take us to $2 million in ARR with a 60 to 70% gross margin, setting us up for a Series A within 12 to 18 months. Don't miss this opportunity in joining us in building a global leader in this new and emerging category of data-powered employee performance. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Maddie and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Boulder. We started Boulder because we saw that the energy grid is rapidly changing. There's a growing influx of renewable assets, energy storage, but most importantly, gas is set to be phased out in favor of sustainable electric solutions. Now these changes pose great infrastructural challenges to the grid and create huge upfront costs in the home for the consumer. At Boulder, we help retrofit home heating and cooling with easy to install, affordable, energy-saving and IoT-connected devices. All of our products are underpinned by the energy efficiency platform, where users unlock a range of smart features that help reduce energy consumption, automate home climate, and boost convenience. Now, our vision is to empower every single home to reduce energy consumption while establishing the home as a fully connected, distributed energy resource in the grid. Our beachhead is in home heating and cooling because that takes up to 70% of the total household energy consumption. We consider our connected hardware to be a Trojan horse in the race for the integration in the home. Kelvin is our smart infrared heater that is 30% more cost efficient than traditional convection methods, can be DIY installed in under 10 minutes, and is smart home capable straight out of the box. Klima is a smart controller that transforms your existing air conditioners or heat pumps into smart home devices. Control your AC from the comfort of your phone, track energy consumption, and reduce bills with smart features. All for just $150 with zero wiring and setup in minutes. Now we're really excited about Klima because there are over 2 billion air conditioners in the world, with the number expected to increase to 5 billion in only a few years. With Klima, we can retrofit these energy-guzzling devices and improve the stability of the grid. We have strong 80% gross profit margins on hardware, which allow for multi-vertical go-to-market strategies both through D2C and B2B2C, where we have remained profitable from day one and are now ready to scale. Our early customers love Boulder. Since starting sales 7 months ago, we've already shipped over 4,000 products across North America and Europe and generated $500,000 in sales. And we will hit $3 million by the end of year one. And this is on unit sales alone. We're starting to benchmark paid premium features in September for both consumers and enterprise. My co-founder and I have known each other for over 20 years. Both are repeat founders with experience in product development, marketing, and IoT. We're currently raising $1 million at a $5 million post-money valuation. We're 50% hard committed in the round with a lead investor in place. And our lead investor is a US fund made up of ex-SpaceX and Tesla execs investing in startups with a focus on climate tech. Now, if you don't want to be left out in the cold, join us on this bolder journey to shape the future of the connected home.
Hi everyone, my name's Lucas. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Modulize. At Modulize, our mission is to build a global marketplace for off-site construction and to empower construction companies everywhere to build better. With off-site construction, we take work away from construction site and into factories where we produce partial building elements or entire modules. Off-site construction is great. It reduces the amount of time and construction cost. It reduces emissions across both the building life cycle and during construction. And it also cuts waste from building projects. And the industry itself is massive. And yet, construction companies continue to struggle to adopt off-site construction. The market is super fragmented and there's no clear market leaders in a pretty localized market. With Modulize, we've identified a path to achieve scalable off-site construction, starting with procurement. Construction companies struggle to find the right types of manufacturers, and the procurement process itself is super fragmented and manual. With Modulize, we provide a marketplace that connects these two stakeholders, as well as the tools to streamline and automate the procurement process itself. Scaling the marketplace then puts us into a position to address the second big bottleneck, planning and design for off-site construction. As we scale this marketplace, we get to collect a lot of data and insights into manufacturers, as well as building projects using off-site construction. That, in turn, allows us to build a solution for architects and property developers to leverage this data to actually plan and design for the use of off-site construction much earlier in a project. To achieve the first part of our vision for the industry, we've now developed the marketplace, as well as the underlying tooling to automate the bidding process. Construction companies can easily create tenders and receive bids with minimal friction. The manufacturers can use Modulize to bid on projects directly inside the application and use the tools that we've developed to automate the process. We currently have 44 manufacturers as customers across 10 countries, have been growing about 15% month over month, and since launching the marketplace in January, we've already run tendering for 17 projects, adding up to a GMV pipeline of around 20 million euro. To give you a flavor for what kinds of projects we've been working on, here are a few examples. We go across different material types, different project sizes, complexity, the list continues. Perhaps most importantly, as we scale off-site construction, we also scale decarbonization of the whole industry. And not only that, we can cut waste in projects by up to 90%, and we create incredible opportunities to reuse building elements at the end of a building's lifetime. Before I wrap up, I'd like to introduce my two co-founders. Olaf, our CTO, is one of the best engineers and product leaders I've ever got to work with. Håkon, our CRO, has spent his entire career building companies. And for myself, I have a background in AI and I've been using it to try and solve problems across academia, corporates, not-for-profits, and startups. We're now fundraising, so we're looking to speak to any early-stage investors, corporates, angels. If you're keen to learn more, you can find me at lucas@modulize.com. Thanks so much for listening.
Hi, I hope you've been enjoying the pitches today. We've heard from some great companies. So now turning attention to the exciting topic of term sheets. From experience, one of the most difficult things about the fundraising process for founders is getting a term sheet from a VC. It's the holy grail. The term sheet is critical as it usually determines the final structure of an investment. It is not a letter of intent, but a blueprint for your future relationship with your investor. What we often found when talking to both entrepreneurs and investors is that what was considered market was based on personal experience and was subjective. As a result, to increase transparency, we have produced an independent market guide on term sheets. This is an annual guide that we are producing and can be downloaded from my LinkedIn page. The key highlights from the term sheet guide I'm about to go through was based on 245 anonymised final term sheets issued in 2022, ranging in investment size from $500,000 to 50 million plus, mainly from the UK and some from Europe and Ryder. The term sheets ranged across stage from seed to Series C and beyond, and across a spectrum of investor types. I would personally like to thank all the lawyers who contributed data to the guide, and I look forward to working with them again for the survey next year. When looking at a term sheet, I like to think of the two key areas: economics of a deal and control, i.e. who is involved in key decisions and to what extent after investment. There are also other items, but let's first start with economics of the term sheet. Valuation is a commercial term and not a legal one, and how it is calculated is a whole separate discussion, but it was interesting to see the pre-money valuation ranges. EIS investors in the sample were involved in deals with a pre-money valuation of up to 20 million. Traditional VCs, VCTs and CVCs, now they were involved in deals which had a big range of pre-money valuations from less than 5 million all the way up to $1 billion. After valuation, the most important term in the term sheet is structure, and specifically the liquidation preference. In our sample, we found that it was market for an investor to have some form of downside protection, with 77% of term sheets having some form of preferred shares. Where there was a preferred share, 86% of the cases, these were non-participating, founder-friendly, and only 12% of deals had a participating structure, investor-friendly. See the guide for more explanation on this. Liquidation preferences have a multiple attached, i.e. how many times an investor gets their money back. For both non-participating and participating structures, 1x was market. When it comes to the liquidation preference, the key is to look at this in conjunction with all your other terms, including valuation. A lower valuation with better structure can lead to better outcomes. As an entrepreneur, make sure you do an exit waterfall, showing what you actually get in your pocket on an exit and at different scenarios. A new option pool or top up was seen in 68% of term sheets, and where it was, 40% was created in the pre-money and 55% in the post-money. There is no right answer to this. As a founder, you need to understand the implication of dilution and the option pool shuffle. Where an option pool was created or topped up, 10% was the most common size. Other economic terms, 60% of term sheets included an anti-dilution provision. This protects the preferred shareholder, preserving their ownership in a down round. 19% of term sheets included a tranched investment, 20% a preference dividend, and 9% growth shares. Before we get into some of the findings on control, it's worth pointing out that VC investors are minority investors and therefore require some form of minority protection. The board appointments, 83% of term sheets had an investor on the board, 91% if we include investor observers. Appointing an investor director and observer was the most common scenario, seen in 44% of term sheets. And surprisingly, in 11% of deals, the investor had the right to appoint 2 ex-board seats. Founder vesting. This is an emotive one for founders. 53% of term sheets mentioned founder vesting. And where it was included, the most common scenario was 25% or less of founder shares pre-vested on day one. And typically, the vesting period was over a 3-year period, straight line. Leaver provisions were included in 55% of term sheets. Finally, if we look at other items and fees, only 14% of term sheets had an arrangement fee. And where there was one, 5% of the investment amount was the most common fee size, while 20% of term sheets had a monitoring fee, and this was typically based on an annual salary, and 20k per annum was the most common. DE&I and sustainability. Only 16% of term sheets included a sustainability impact clause, and just 8% had a diversity rider clause. Plenty more to do in both these areas. Okay, that sums up the key highlights of the term sheet guide. If you want to find out more details regarding these terms, investor perspectives, and top tips for negotiating the term sheet, you can download the guide from LinkedIn, or feel free to get in touch. It is now time for the second half of the pitches. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'm one of the co-founders of Habitual. Every single one of us is affected by obesity, whether through our own personal struggles or watching family members or loved ones manage the condition. And that's no surprise, given 770 million people are living with obesity today. Sadly though, most of those patients live at a hugely increased risk of devastating complications, such as heart attack, stroke, cancer, or diabetes. And this is putting a huge economic pressure on our healthcare systems. We're spending about $1.5 trillion annually at the moment on obesity care, and that's projected to go up to $4 trillion annually by 2035. That's the same as having another COVID pandemic every single year. The reality is we're grossly underserving this population. In the UK, only 0.2% of the eligible population have access to intensive weight management care. And of those that do manage to access it, following that limited treatment, they're discharged back to routine primary care. And the reality is we're treating obesity rather like a chest infection, as though it's something that we can cure. But our academic understanding of obesity has progressed significantly, and we now know that obesity is a complex, chronic condition that requires lifelong, specialised, longitudinal care. New treatments for obesity have catalysed a new conversation about how we can reform obesity care and transform it and truly deliver lifelong care to the 800 million people around the world living with obesity.
As with most big problems, we look to technology for solutions. Hi everyone, I'm Nepala and the other half of the co-founding team here at Habitual. What we now know after years of delivering diabetes care is that there is no one-size-fits-all solution. And what a patient really needs is the right intervention at the right time in their lives, be that a medication, a food product, a wearable device, the list goes on and on. But to really deliver that care at scale, we need to build a truly digital partner that can be with a patient throughout every step of the journey. We are building the technology and software to power the revolution in metabolic health. We've already helped thousands of patients on their journeys to diabetes remission. We've partnered with the NHS on the national rollout of these programs, and we recently launched a GLP-1 medication offering, which reached 1.5 million ARR within 3 months of launching. The underlying unit economics are super strong, We are first order profitable on a CM3 basis. We see monthly retention of about 70%, and we have an LTV CAC on a profit basis of 7-1. We're already backed by some incredible investors, but always love meeting new ones. And look, we're over here building the digital partner for lifelong metabolic health. We will be raising a Series A later this year. So if this is a space that you're interested in and you write Series A checks, then do please get in touch with us.
Hey Forkel, I'm Raphael, co-founder of Kalmar. Very happy to tell you more about our product and business. We asked around in scale-ups and enterprises in the last month about their main pain points with automations. And the striking result was that 41% of RPA projects create more cost than revenue because developers need to spend hours tinkering with no-code blocks to create automations. They need to write custom code if the real-world use case doesn't match with one of these predefined snippets. And users fail to integrate RPA into their own workflows because most of these automations are made by external RPA developers. With Kalmar, we have a very intelligent way to solve all these problems. To create a workflow with Kalmar, you can just describe the process to our AI Copilot, which is a very core part of the user experience. Then the AI Copilot creates the automation for you and visualizes it on a canvas. Under the hood, there's just custom code written just in time for you. For example, here we get Discord messages from the support channel. We are ranking it from 1 to 6 by importance and then appending it to your weekly sprint page in Notion. And so you created a very meaningful automation in just seconds instead of hours of tinkering with no-code builders. So we basically have the speed of natural language, we have the simplicity of visual nodes to really see the data flows, and we have the power of custom code. We can really automate anything you can think of. So we developed an environment for AI to thrive in we really are getting better when AI base layer models are getting better to code instead of building a tool which gets disrupted by AI getting better to code. So we really think, this is our deepest belief, that all these integrations of tools like Zapier and Make are a commodity now, because everything we need to create automations and to support services and apps are just the docs and the API endpoints, nothing else. So the real USP is now to create this orchestration layer on top of all these building blocks and automations, and to create meaningful automations by having non-technical people describing their processes. So the real AI-driven user experience is the core of the next generation automation tools. Other tools like Lindy.ai and Fixie are aware of this as well. Lindy when it comes to creating code just in time, Fixie when it comes to developing this marketplace for best of breed agents, but we don't see the legacy players shifting to that. We don't see them as being the tools to create a company 2.0. If you want to learn more about that, make sure to sign up on our waitlist at Kalmar.ai. Happy to see you.
With 1 in 5 people listening to podcasts in the UK, over 50 million episodes to choose from, and thousands more being published every day, you'd be right in thinking that the podcast world is now big business. Actually, it's 4 times larger than just 3 years ago. Yep, podcasting is booming. So the time was right to build a smart audio publisher. Welcome to Audi.
Audi started trading in late 2021. Our vision was broken into 2 phases. During the first phase, our focus was on building out our capabilities in 3 specific business areas. We have the ability to produce world-class audio content and video content driven by an audio-first strategy.
We work with award-winning, experienced producers and have developed a creator-first model to attract the best names.
We also monetize podcast content through advertising and sponsorship opportunities. This business has shown rapid growth with 37 million monthly downloads and 4,000 different podcast episodes consumed.
Finally, private podcasting allows businesses to target their messages to closed communities, such as employees, shareholders, or members.
and we work with an amazing group of clients across all 3 business areas. We have acquired 3 businesses since our launch, which has extended our technology, production and advertising sales capabilities.
Our founders and team come from big roles at some of the world's biggest and best media brands.
We've got a fantastic team, fantastic backers, and the founders are so experienced across the industry.
In fact, since October 2021, we've achieved a 250% annual growth rate, with our March 2023 revenue at £200,000, and we're on track to achieve a £3 million run rate by the end of this year. We have raised £4 million in seed funding, and we've acquired content with over 5 million historical downloads. We have great momentum, and we want your help to drive it faster.
We believe that the future lies in us building the first ever portfolio of brands within the podcast industry. Brands that are focused on life stages, where there is a very tightly defined demographic. For example, maternity, first-time marriage, menopause, or retirement.
There is a thirst for knowledge as people enter these life stages, and that's where podcasts come in. Each podcast brand that we identify has a proven community and also the ability to extend the brand beyond podcasts to generate revenue.
Our first acquisition is a French maternity brand. With over 700,000 babies born every year in France, this company already has over 600,000 women listening twice a month to their podcast series. In addition, they stage live events, they sell goods through an e-commerce solution, and they even make their content available exclusively through a paid content subscription structure. We are now raising our Series A financing. Our details are obviously available upon request, but we are really excited by the ability to bring you into a high growth opportunity, diversified across a number of revenue streams and de-risked as a result.
People should consider investing in Audi because podcasting is the future of audio.
With every member of our team a shareholder, we're all aligned with you in unlocking the value of audio and sharing it with the world.
My co-founder and I started Verb Now out of frustration for what we were seeing in the energy efficiency industry. For me, in my experience of delivering commercial and policy projects and delivering large-scale retrofit programs, and for Lawrence in delivering data science and software products in this market. And energy efficiency is a huge global problem. Homes can be too hot as well as too cold, and all homeowners want are affordable, comfortable, low-carbon homes. And international policy is supporting the transition to this, but we're currently woefully behind the pace we need to get rid of 11% of emissions from domestic houses across the world. And we're starting with the UK housing stock, some of the most complex housing in the world and the leakiest housing in Europe as well. And there's a benefit to cracking this too. Just in the UK alone, the market size is 371 billion for the self-funded energy efficiency market. And looking over to other markets in Europe, 1.5 trillion. But today, it's way too hard to crack this. Homeowners have to navigate each of these stages to be able to get a good quality retrofit, and often they can't do this because information is too disparate, and finding a supplier at each of these stages is incredibly difficult to do. Most people, in fact, just skip straight to the installation stage, getting poor advice, a bad result, and wasting time and money in delivering their energy efficiency project. Verb Now has been set up to solve exactly this problem. Today, we're a vetted supply marketplace, helping homeowners navigate each of these stages, collecting the data from current building condition and how it's performing to help us build our home digital twin. And what does this deliver for homeowners? It helps deliver automated assessments and plans for houses to figure out which are the best energy efficiency measures, automates finance offers to help spread the cost, improves the efficiency of delivering those projects themselves, reducing time and cost associated with those projects. And finally, once the project is done as well, supporting them with insurance and also insights to make sure that the products that are installed are performing to specification. Ultimately, we just want homeowners to be able to do this in a hassle-free way with a low barrier to entry, accessing suppliers they can trust and reducing the time it takes to start from planning through to delivery. And we've already had great traction to date as well. In just 6 months, we have 586 customers on our waitlist. We've delivered 47 retrofit plans and 6 projects, with a further 10 in the pipeline as well. We've hit £7,000 revenue per month, and we're still growing. And now we're looking to raise $800,000 to help us hit our first 100 retrofit projects and reach 1.5 million annual revenue. In just a few weeks of fundraising, we've soft commitments of $400,000 for this round, and we're looking to seek other investors in the consumer tech, fintech and prop tech space to support us in our growth and help us to become the place to go to deliver low carbon homes without the hassle.
Hi there, I'm Guilherme, the founder and CEO of Maven, and that's Maven, our office cat. Do you know that 93% of pet owners consider their pet part of the family? I mean, if you are one of us, I'm pretty sure this doesn't come as a surprise. But just imagine your kid that's not able to communicate. How would you know if she's safe and healthy? You don't, right? That's precisely what happened to us and millions of pet parents out there. On top of that, everything in the veterinary industry is reactive, not enough for the demand, and has been untouched by technology in the last decade. The way I take care of my pets, it's the same way my parents do, it's the same way my grandparents did, okay? Just in 7 years, by 2030, it's estimated that 70 million of pets won't have access to care. And all those reasons are precisely why we built Maven. Maven is the first AI plus human vet in the space. So what we did was vertically integrate the solution. So everything from the vets to the tools that they use, to the smart collar, to the mobile app, everything is within our system. And that's really what unlocks us the capability to detect when something wrong with a pet is happening. Okay, by collecting data 24/7, we can understand and early detect 11 out of the 15 most common diseases with pets, right? Things such as separation anxiety, obesity, osteoarticular problems, diabetes, all those things within our system we can detect as early as possible, okay? And so there's a shift from a biased approach based on the human perception to a data-driven one, and that really unlocks a new level of care. Me and my team, we've been working for the last 7 years on the pet industry. We've already built one of the top 3 pet tech companies. We are now building the #1 company in the pet industry. Our users love us, from calling us a lifesaver to a cat misdiagnosed with anxiety for 5 years. That was just an allergic reaction, to saving the life of a senior pet called Jake. Users, our first 200 users really love us, and they've been helping us spread the word about Maven. Just last month, we have a net promoter score of 63. We more than grew our ARR by 50% month over month. So great early tractions. We are currently raising $2 million to keep iterating on our go-to-market strategy, either on the consumer side, on the B2B side, for our category-defining product. Currently with us and supporting this vision, we have other angels and founders such as Julian Shapiro, Ankur Napal, Austin Reef, and VCs such as Mustard Seed Maze and Dermilar. And yeah, that's it. I'm Guilherme. This is Maven. Happy to tell you everything about it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Holly.
And I'm Hugh, and we're the founders at Naya. And just this morning, we spoke to someone called Vitalina. Vitalina is a migrant from the Ukraine, now living in the UK, displaced by the war. She has 3 degrees from the second biggest university in the Ukraine. Her English is impeccable, and despite this, she's working as a caterer. Now, Vitalina is not alone. There's over 500 million people living in the world today who are underutilized in the labor market. And most of these people are migrants and or women. Despite this, almost 80% of businesses are reporting critical skill gaps at a cost of $11 trillion a year.
And that's why we started Naya, an opportunity platform leveraging the power of community and AI to remove those barriers to access for people like Vitalina. By building bespoke career development pathways that align not only with an individual's career aspirations, but also with the critical skills gaps in the market, Naya is future-proofing the global workforce and connecting the unconnected. This is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, and we are seeing huge demand. Last year, our network reached over 1 million people. We onboarded over 3,000 users onto our MVP, and we mobilized 600 into new opportunities. all while making over 200k revenue from the likes of Accenture and Shell.
That's right. And so we're raising right now £1 million, which is EIS eligible, to invest in scaling up our tech and creating a network effect to build the world's biggest online community of underutilized talent. Our mission is to use the power of AI to remove barriers to access for 100 million users by the end of the decade. And we have an amazing team to help us get there.
We absolutely do. So Hugh has spent a decade working with underserved communities and leading digital transformation projects at Tier 1 investment banks. I lead growth. I have experience scaling HR tech marketplaces. I've worked in VC and led growth for venture-backed startups across Africa, Europe and the UK. And our other co-founder, Cam, brings the product and sector experience with 7 years experience delivering HR tech solutions into FTSE 100 companies.
That's right, and we don't even stop there. We have a CTO, Tanvir, who has 4 exits from large language models. We have Banu, who runs our community. She scaled communities up to 10,000 people in her native Iraq before she moved to the UK. And we have a couple of amazing hires who are ready to go to join the team to smash our go-to-market strategy as we scale up what we're doing. We are closing out our funding round, hopefully in the next 4 weeks. We're 80% funded, and we'd love for you to join us.
Definitely. So believe us when we say that talent is everywhere and opportunity is not. Rather than letting AI proliferate the opportunity gap and exacerbate social inequalities, let's use it to connect those 500 million people to new opportunities. We invite you to join us at Naya, where the future of work is fair. If you want to learn more, then please get in touch via the email addresses below.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Sarah, the co-founder and CEO of Waggle. Waggle is an AI copilot that helps managers know exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it, to drive their teams to perform. I remember very clearly when I first became a manager. I was very good at my job, and all of a sudden, I was in charge of other people's work. I had no clue what to do, how to get them to open up during one-on-ones, or how to handle underperformance. And I wasn't alone in this. Businesses globally have the same issue. In fact, 5.5 trillion is lost every year due to poor management practices. That's twice the GDP of the UK. While 360 billion are spent on management training every year, 90% of that is forgotten after 7 days if it's not backed up by sustained training. That's why Waggle is an AI platform that stays with you throughout your day as a manager. Like a co-pilot, it provides on-the-job training, support and data insights, and even gamification. We are bringing tested and tried behavioral science models that were applied in the fitness industry to the workspace. This will enable managers and teams to grow and become more productive and companies more profitable. We are building a category-defining product in a market valued at 400 billion and growing, with a focus on just US and UK scale-ups. We can get to 19 million IRR under 3 years. We differ from existing solutions by combining a collaboration tool with upskilling and a strong focus on our users, managers. While the management training market is fragmented and low-tech, software solutions are either focused on tasks and not people, or are built for HR managers, not users. Our monetization strategy is a classic B2B business model with a monthly price per seat, but with a twist. We are taking a bottom-up, product-led approach where we enter a company throughout a single manager and spread within the company. This ensures we can make the product sticky even beyond the first day. As a team, we have the perfect blend of skills to build this product. My co-founder Sad has built his first AI company straight out of engineering school and grew it to 2 million ARR. Our head of behavioral science, Katie, has delivered management training to 10 Downing Street, and we are surrounded by an amazing group of advisors. In a few months, we have onboarded 150 managers on our private beta, 30 of which are paid, and we have more on our waiting list. We are now raising an angel round ahead of a larger one at the end of Techstars to get to 12 months of runway, launch publicly, and reach 1,500 power users. Join us in giving the gift of a great manager to every employee.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Mo Health. We're building a radically simple alternative to health insurance for modern companies. We combine a community-funded and collectively owned health trust with a healthcare fintech, an automated and sophisticated claims engine built around the Mo MasterCard. The problem we're working on is to contribute to the funding crisis, the healthcare funding crisis in the UK. It's genuinely really shocking to see how far behind the UK lags its peers in terms of healthcare spend, and the impact of that we all recognise, with long waiting times and poorer health outcomes. And in spite of the changing funding conditions over the past decade or more, health insurance hasn't adapted or changed. So we have a $6 billion a year legacy market shared between just 4 providers, covering only about 10% of the population. So there's a huge white space opportunity to go after, as more and more companies are recognising how important it is to offer their teams a health protection plan. But for Mo, the opportunity isn't just limited to the UK. As Andreessen pointed out, healthcare payments and all the friction and pain, transaction costs, fraud, waste and abuse that exist in global payment flows through healthcare actually represent the biggest blue ocean in fintech today. With Mo, we transform the lived claims experience. So gone are long waiting times on the phone, lengthy approval processes, paper-based forms and long delays in reimbursement. Our members are modern healthcare consumers, empowered to make decisions about their own clinical journeys, covered globally by default as they move between different clinical settings. And we've already processed claims in 6 countries. Sitting behind the Mo card is a trust. A health trust is a genuine alternative to health insurance. It's a self-funded model, more transparent, more human, more adaptable and more accountable than the black box that is traditional health insurance. And we create a legal distinction between the health trust, overseen by a not-for-profit, and the tech company. The tech company takes a pure administration fee. We don't make money by refusing to pay claims. And this legal separation creates huge opportunities for Mo as we grow. We can move internationally very quickly, unencumbered by local regulatory constraints, which have held back other health insurtechs like Alan in France or Ottonova in Germany. We've moved very quickly, going from concept to revenue in just 9 months. We've built deep tech foundations, launched the Mo brand in March, and have seen rapid growth since then at about 10% week over week. And we'll carry that momentum into the seed round. And the seed will really do 3 things. One, it allows to broaden and deepen the product range. Secondly, we'll double down on technology and build a world-class and differentiated claims process around the Mo MasterCard. And finally, grow out the membership, prove that we're really building something that people want. So it's a pleasure to introduce Mo to you today as we define the category of healthcare fintech.
Hey, my name is Zile. I'm founder and CEO with Building the Brain analytics platform using AI technology and our unique domain expertise to help product managers, operation managers, and data teams at tech startups extract meaningful, actionable insights from their data without writing code. This is a $20 billion market opportunity. We started 2 months ago, have 3 pilot customers, letters of intent for £50,000 ARR, and soft commitment for $100,000 funding. We have built super successful products such as Revolut Business and Monzo Business that itself standalone are unicorns. Super complex tech as well, especially ML and AI at Yandex and Bumble, serving millions of people every day and processing billions of transactions. We all have computer science background, write code, and have great relationship and work experience with each other for a really long time. Existing business intelligence and analytic tools like Looker and Metabase are archaic and have utility focus on tables and charts. Companies are drowning in data and hungry for insights. We saw it dozens of times through years of experience at Microsoft, Yandex, Revolut, and Monzo. We propose radically new way. AI as a co-pilot for explanatory analysis and generating insights that empowered through modern primitives and product concepts like habits, loops, and cohorts. Also integrated with various data sources used by product teams like databases, feedback, and support. Such product can be made only by people with leading unique domain expertise. We will make money via user-friendly SaaS pricing, charging $50 per seat per month. We are raising $1 million pre-seed to work on product market fit, have soft commitment for £100,000 and letters of intent for £50,000 ARR, aiming to have 100,000 ARR and seed round this autumn. We move very fast with get it done mentality, customers and code on production priority, so we want to close everything quick in 4 weeks. Would love to chat with you and let's get it done.
And that's the end of the pitches. Thank you to the founders who've done an incredible job of putting together their videos. We can't wait to see how the companies get on after demo day. We'll send a form to all attendees later today to gather interest, and then we'll be setting up SPVs and inviting you to invest once our finalists have a lead investor secured. Please do remember that your capital will be at risk, but we can't wait for as many of you as possible to co-invest with us in some of the most promising companies of 2023.
I think that's all from us for now, so a big thank you to our finalists, everyone who applied, everyone who's watching, to SVB UK and our other sponsors, Google Cloud, Taylor Vinters, Capsule, Capdesk, and BDO, and to our partner VCs who really make this all possible. Check them all out on our website. We have lots of cool stuff planned for the rest of 2023, so keep your eyes peeled, and we'll see you at our next demo day in October.
And cut there. Well done, chaps.
Fab. Well done.
Thanks, guys. That was great.